there is duplication here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we can ask him to have this duplication to a separate function. So that would be a good thing if he really knows what he's doing. Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome back to the channel, always with Younes Charfaoui. In today's video, we are going to try the new ChatGPT. I will ask him to build an Android application for us so we can assess its code quality and thinking, if you might say. And yeah, let's get started. So here I have the one and the only ChatGPT thing. So I don't know if I'm going to implement the code he gives me into an Android application. Let's see. At least we can assess its code quality through our eyes through code reviewing part. So first, let's have some greeting. Hello. Hello, mi amigo. Oh no. Hola, ¿cómo estás? No, come on, stop. It's just mi amigo. No, I speak only English. Well, let's allow some errors. I don't want to check that also. Yeah, great. I want to build an Android application. Yeah, can be great way. Okay, Java programming. Okay, it's recommending Java. Well, that's not that good thing. Okay, this is kind of the Wikipedia answer. All right, yeah, define the purpose, design, write, debug, test. Well, okay, yeah, thank you. That's pretty good plan. I want to, maybe he knows only Java, to build it in Kotlin. What's that? Popular language, concise experience. He's building an Android app with Kotlin the plan, so you can't give me the plan. You need to basically understand Kotlin. Yeah, so the purpose, like I'm trying to see that the objective of this ChatGPT thing is to give you as much as it can possibly give you. Let's think of an Android application. Let's give it something I can access directly with my eyes. Let's try to build like weather app. Yeah, let's go with the weather app. Okay, I want to build a weather app. Okay, weather app can be a great idea. Practice development more weather data is an outline steps. So I should define the features, check the weather API, set up development environment, good user interface, implement the logic, test and debug. Okay, so it doesn't do test-driven development, publish. Okay, great. If you want app development, consider taking. No, I want you to build that app for me. You to build that app for me. Is blinking. Come on. I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I do not have the ability to build apps. I can only provide information, answer to question at best of my ability. Okay, so I think I should give it one by one. It's just finding mobile app developer. Okay, thank you very much. It's platform. Okay, so he's recommending things. Okay, I will start asking him directly to start the coding for me. So I will treat this one, I will cheat for this time being. I know many developers and engineers, software engineers claim that, well, AI models can't be software engineers. They can't write code for us. And kind of this is true. Software engineering is a really creative field, of course, and really one of the most complex things that humankind ever done, as mentioned in some books like David Farley, Modern Software Engineering. Right, this is really tough. Like doing software engineering, like not writing code, doing software engineering high quality app that will last for longer time, like maintainable, testable, and everything is a little bit hard. It's really hard. But at least I will treat this one like, well, I'm trying to see my possibilities here. I'm trying to see if this ChatGPT thing is understanding what he's saying. It's not just copy paste code from the internet, as I saw in previous videos like that. I want to see if he really understands the code. Maybe he can refactor it. Maybe he can propose new thing. I will ask him. I will even copy paste some code from Stack Overflow and ask him to like do some code review for that, maybe to refactor it and so on. So we are just exploring things here. So first of all, let's ask him. I don't know if I want to use the Jetpack Compose thing or like the normal view system. So what should I use for the UI? Jetpack Compose or normal view system? I think he'll propose Jetpack Compose. Like I'm treating this as a pair. Like usually in pair programming, you have your pair. You ask him this question: what API should we use? What library or this Jetpack Compose or view system? So this kind of technical discussion are very good. So the choice between Jetpack Compose and the view system, it depends. Yeah, exactly. This is a good question. Like if he says it depends, this is a good thing. Exactly, it depends. So because usually there is trade-off between things, between the requirements and everything. So he will try to convince me with some arguments find on the internet, of course. So this is a little bit difficult with when doing pair programming, right? If your pair, it's not something bad, but like your pair here right now, this ChatGPT knows many things, so he can convince you with anything. You have to really be being skeptical about what he's saying. Yeah, where you can describe UI, compose, make it easier. Okay, okay, he's a little bit slow. I don't know why. It's my internet connection or something. Yeah, material design UI. Okay, and then the view system is old. It's not reactive, man. Tough, tough, blah blah blah, and so on. Yeah, exactly. Network error. Wow. So there is a network error. I will try to do something else. So here we back again. Here's the answer. Okay, okay. So I think we are going to move with Jetpack Compose thing. All right. So first of all, like usually as an Android developer, what I try to do first, I try to solve the problem from the inside. Like I will let the UI as the last part. I will try to think what features do I need. For example, he told me that some features are. Let me check the features here of the weather app. Come on. So some features include like the current weather condition, forecast, and anything. So we try to have, let's say, one feature called, for example, the weather of today. So let's implement the weather of today feature. So I will just ask him to see where he can start from the UI. Okay, so try to give me the plan. You need to fetch the current weather from the API. That's a good thing. And then the UI thing. Here's a high level overview step. Choose the weather API. Okay. Fetch the weather. Okay, that's what I would do. Pass the weather data. Okay, some retrofit stuff and everything. Display the weather data using Jetpack Compose or View System. Nice. Yeah, what do you think? Also, update the UI. Try to do that. Okay, okay, that's high level steps. So I will try to use those steps, of course. I don't know if I'm going to the UI or the weather API first. Yeah, I will ask him first to write a test for me because usually I follow test-driven development. Let's start by writing tests. What first test do you think we can write? If you're going to start from the top, test is important. Okay, ensure. Okay, yeah, I know that. Okay, a good place to start, right? Test functionality in the app, such as fetching the so verifying that the network request. Okay, this is not a unit test. All right, because they're trying to check the network request. Okay, but at least yeah, try to give me some tests. Can you write that test for me? Okay, so this is good. Usually we didn't have this kind of context thing in like AI models like that. Like write that refers to that test I asked you before. So I don't know if you get it or not. Sure, here's an example of test of fetching and passing weather using JUnit and mock web server in Kotlin. That's good, maybe. It's not like doing the real thing, the real API call. So retrofit thing, JSON thing, weather API test. He's kind of the inside out TDD guy. Okay, yeah, maybe you can ask him for an acceptance test, like try to see if he can do both things. So I think like from this first interaction, it's about the type of question you ask him. So we respond mainly on the type of question you are asking. If you ask him to do like this inside out thing, he will do it for you, and so on. Okay, so tear down mock. Okay, that's a reasonable thing. Whether API exactly, I wanted to ask you about that. Okay, there is a call here. It doesn't use the span function. There is a weather data model. Okay, that's reasonably good thing to start with. I'm not, yeah, I'm not saying that you should copy this code and use it directly. I'm trying to assess like the quality of its code. So there is many stuff here, some things like the range part. Maybe we can extract things here. Like this is just a rough plan. Okay, the weather API, the weather data, like this is the weather data thing. Yeah, get weather. I think we are getting list of weather. So here is the first thing. I will ask him to modify this for me to get list of weather and to do it to this span function rather than this call enqueue thing, right? Because I don't know how it's doing. Set body, set JSON, create. execute. Okay, getting the body. So this will be blocking. This will be a blocking thing. We are in the test, of course. So it won't be that problematic. At least you can have something like this. Is really cool. Having an example by itself is very, very great. That's as first impression. Okay, give me that. The test uses smoke web server. Okay, that's good. The retrofit library. Okay. Response to weather data. Okay. Why did he choose this naming weather data? Let's ask him. Why did you choose the, let's put it like that, weather data as the name for the class? I choose the name with the data for the class because it accurately describes the purpose of the class. The class represents the data that represent the weather report. Just a better, okay. So descriptive name like is appropriate. It's common convention in programming to use descriptive. Yes, I know that, but this name describes the purpose. What was the purpose? Like what? The purpose of the weather data class is to present data represent the weather report. Data typically include information. Exactly. Why did you name it weather data? Why did you name it weather report response, for example? Because sometimes like this, well, this is based on conventions, of course. Whenever you have an API thing, API type data, I try to include the response name so I know when using my models I can answer. That's the first thing. Like I try to see if he have arguments. The problem is when doing pair programming with such kinda intelligent, not that much intelligent. Well, for me it's a little bit intelligent, but also have a lot of data. It can't convince you. This is the problem. Let's go ahead. Okay, can you change the weather API? Can you change the weather API to return a list of weather data? Can you do that? Sure, here's an updated version of the weather API interface to return a list of weather data object. Okay, that's awesome. At least you can modify its code, like the call. I don't want to call also. Okay, so the corresponding test will affect something like follow. Okay, so we can update also the test. Well, guys, this is good. This is good. At least like this is the same name of the test. Let me check. Okay. Observe. Oh, what's happened, guys? Okay, so the JSON thing got unformatted because I do that scrolling part. Okay, the test execution body, at least, yeah. Berlin weather data. The second part, okay. Yeah, here is a great exercise. There is duplication here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we can ask him to have this duplication to a separate function. So that would be a good thing if he really knows what he's doing. I don't know, like this kind of refactoring I'm thinking of right now. He couldn't do it by default. So the assert part is duplicated. Why not extracting a function to do the assert on the weather data? Can you do that? Like really, I'm really curious. It's a good point. Okay, thank you very much. Now it's a good point. Readable. Here's an example of verify whether data takes a weather data object. Exactly, that's the thing I wanted from the beginning. Can you update the test? Like he's intelligent enough to, with that function in place, test will be simplified as following. Exactly, this is the thing I wanted to ask you. Like guys, this is really cool. You can do this kind of thing. Like, well, I know he isn't replacing my role, of course, but I can rely on something like that to do this kind of refactoring. Well, there is automatic refactoring tools. I can do it with that, of course. Exactly, this is the good. This is really good. Trying to do this kind of refactoring is really good. I'm imagining having this ChatGPT in Android Studio, for example, or IntelliJ product. I'm not liking the way I'm typing every question. It's a little bit tough. Like I want to give this kind of comments directly. I don't know the other means, not writing. But yeah, this is really good, at least for now. Now I do have some couple of problems. Well, as I said earlier, I started writing the test from the inside to the out. Inside out TDD, I usually follow that practice a lot. Sometimes I have to write the acceptance test. Now, let me just focus on the API part. I want some changes. Can you modify now the weather API to use suspend function, yeah, rather than the call? Yeah, here's a button. Okay, sure, here's an updated version with their API. please expand function instead of call object. Yeah, exactly. That's one thing. This is good. Indicator function. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, the intelligent part is having this. Okay, he updated the test to use run blocking. Well, this is cool. Like, this is really cool. As I said, the intelligent part isn't writing the code. The intelligent part is knowing that I should do that. Like, since I am a little bit experienced Android developer, I can think of that, right? But having, like, I'm testing the ability of ChatGPT to understand what he is doing here. This is cool. This is really cool. This updated run blocking function is used. Yeah, thank you very much. This is good. Run blocking to understanding. Awesome. Let's ask him. Now I changed my mind. Can you please, for example, use Rx Java instead of coroutines? Like here I'm concerning the weather API. Can he do that? Like, can he get it from the context? Exactly, from the weather API, Rx Java instead of coroutines. Get function, exactly, it's a single of list of things. The single type from Java represents the string exactly one time. Awesome, we didn't use observable lots of time. Many times we use observable for one single thing. Yeah, the test will be updated. Yeah, we need some dependencies here. He didn't give me dependencies to include in Gradle files, so I don't know. Okay, what's happening here? It's a little bit slow. Test apply, exactly. This kind of like, this is the way you should test, like having tests for the Rx Java thing. Okay, he uses our function. Like, guys, he's really understanding a little bit of that code. Like, this is really cool. I don't know, like, this is just observation. Like, perhaps there is some things I missed here, but this is really, at least this is really cool. Yeah, thank you very much. You didn't give me something. You didn't give me the dependencies I need to put in Gradle 5. Yeah, I need Rx Java, I need retrofit, I need to use Rx Java. Okay, this is just the Rx Java part. Rx Android, yeah, exactly. Rx Java dependency provide Rx Android for exactly for scheduling the main thread, exactly. Yeah, good. This is good for the beginning, guys. Like, we do have this kind of test here. Like, I don't know if the test is going to work well or not. This is just basic observation. I'm not running any code here, just using my eyes to assess that. But it's a little bit cool. The ability to change code, not that big refactoring, but the ability to change code in those specific parts is really intelligent. So yeah, exactly. It means he understands some portion of the code. Don't know how it's doing it, but he understands that. Okay, how to use this code, all of this code, in the production environment. I'm putting this in the context of like UI. We do have UI using API example thing. Okay, so he understood like this referring to Rx Java part. Okay, observe on, subscribe, get weather API, call, update weather list. Okay, he didn't. Okay, the get weather part is method to retrieve the weather from the API. Observe on. Yeah, exactly. Switch off thread and everything. Yeah, and the error. So he tried to explain to me. That's good. Well, the really cool thing is that if you use this as a pair, like, this is the beauty of pair programming. Why pair programming is so good? Well, it helps share knowledge between the team and everything. But one of the main part is that when two developers sit, like, first of all, if I am the only developer writing the code, sometimes we don't doubt our code because we think it will work. We are not so skeptical about it. But if you do it with a pair, you will try to have some critics on his code. So that way, when ChatGPT give you something like that, you will try to find some optimization, some things that will go wrong, and this is a good thing. This is not related to ChatGPT. This is related to the pair programming or mob programming. Okay, you are an inside out TDD guy, right? Can you understand that as an AI model, I don't have personal opinions? Concept of test-driven development can certainly help you. Implementing articulation that you prefer. TDD is software. Okay, yeah. So I always go back to that, defining things and everything. So I will ask him here to give me an acceptance test, like from the UI part. Yeah, exactly. This Wikipedia stuff. Okay. Give me a test for the weather feature in an outside in format or patch. Example of an outside in TDD test for the weather feature. Exactly. Weather is smoking. Yeah. Okay, too much. There is view model. You can give it that view model. So it's testing directly view model. Maybe you can have a fake instead of that mocking thing. But yeah, can work well. Yeah, maybe I wanted like an acceptance test in the format of UI test. No, give it to me in as an acceptance test UI part. You give me some espresso thing, maybe he didn't understand. He didn't understand. Here is the acceptance test for the weather feature. I enjoyed that test. Should pay weather, arrange weather, so it's the same thing. It didn't change anything. Mm. Okay. View model directly from that part. Set on view, yeah, exactly. So he's doing now. This is really good, but usually I don't use mocks when doing acceptance tests. I would rather use the exact like implementation, not a mock. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is because I do know these things, right? If someone who doesn't understand these things try to do that directly, this will be a problem. This is not the correct thing, at least for me, right? I don't use mocks when doing this kind of, yeah, exactly, this kind of thing here. So definitely this would change. And you're using data binding. Okay, now on view check. Okay, so this espresso thing. Well, let me do that. Can you write for me the UI but in Jetpack Compose? I'm meaning the UI of the weather feature. Weather feature exactly in Jetpack Compose. Okay? Weather screen, view model weather data, observe state as, yeah, exactly, empty list, column. Well, I'm not in a position to check how this is gonna go, but this is somehow good. Like this is the simplest UI thing I ever seen. Column with two text directly. Go ahead. Temperature, yeah, this is good. This is good, kind of. Whatever the data object list text composable, yeah, it's trying to explain to me observe state as and stuff like that. Okay. Like guys, he's trying his best. Like at least he can understand things from the context and have this thing. What about call it the view model, right? The weather view model. This one. Android view model, okay. He needs some context thing, or he didn't find the data on the internet like that. Fetch the weather data, mutable live data. He's exposing directly the mutable live data. This is not a good thing. Okay, with the repository, this is the subscribe part. He missed like whether, yeah, exactly, the application, the view. Yeah, but why? Why did you use that? You don't need any, I don't know. You don't need any context or part that requires this Android implementation view model. This is a bad thing. So we need to change this. We need to change this. I will ask him to change it. Like the really thing I'm trying to assess is his ability to understand what he is doing. He's not just grabbing things from the internet. Here I asked him that exposing mutable live data isn't a good thing. Like I did some things here without the camera recording. It was a problem. So I asked him this. Exposing mutable live data isn't good. Why not having the backend properties like this bad thing? He told me, yeah, exposing directly is public and issues integrity. The main thing here is the updated part, and this is kind of cool thing. And then I asked him if we forget to include thread switching because he didn't switch the threads here. Yes, correct. Properly handle thread switching. Eric Java, I think he did that thread switching part. Yeah, but here we don't do that here like that. I try to have this as parameters so I can change them when testing this view model. And yeah, but I think it's much better to have schedulers as input parameters. He told me, well, this is a good point. I told him, yeah, thank you very much, in my mind, of course. And yeah, here's the thing. He updated this one to use this one. I won't ask him to do any DI thing, DI stuff, dependency injection stuff. I'm trying to assess only its ability to understand what he is doing, right? Well, this is a language model. He is not kind of understanding what he is doing, but he's trying to predict the next words. And this is like ChatGPT part, which is generative pre-trained transformers. They are pre-trained, so he's not learning new stuff as we are doing this recording. So then I asked him, okay, change the Eric Java to normal Kotlin routines. I wanted to change all the coding here. Okay, so he must delete that. So he must understand, I'm not saying understand, he must like think that this will be unused. So definitely he deleted them and used this thing with the view model scope, which is good. And then like this is the thinking. In coroutines, try to use try catch. Well, okay, try catch. Okay, not a problem. By using coroutine, you can simplify things and stuff. Yeah, this is really cool. At least for now, like you should really understand this technology is not as a replacement for software engineers because as you can see here, we have too many code that they didn't give us way to put all this code together in one project or something. So definitely, because I saw that on the internet, someone in one group asked a web developer. He told him like, "Hey, I asked ChatGPT to build me a website, and he gave me all the other stuff, all the code, but in different chunks. And I want you as a developer to integrate all those chunks together." Like, and he told him like, "This is kinda as an easy thing because the whole part is done." No, this is not an easy thing to connect everything together and put everything together. This is software engineering parts, right? Having the bigger idea, the design of the code in your mind, and this is much important. But it is good to have this kind of these models to help you at least search the internet, having this code that you can refactor easily. I'm not saying this is the final version, and I'm not saying this is because sometimes it gives really wrong answers. So it depends on the quality of the questions you ask him and the level of specification. Well, if you compare it with time, I can ask him, he give me the code, I copy paste it and modify it. This is much better than me starting writing all this again. And as I said, we are being much more skeptical about the code. Like we are not just accepting everything. If we were doing the implementation, we will trust our gods. We will go, okay, repository, okay, things. We do good part. This repository shouldn't be here either. We should refactor it, move the repository to the view model input parameters, something like that. Yeah, exactly. Kind of can do that. Yeah, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool, guys. At least for now. Well, we can ask him. I already asked him about the thread switching. I can ask him here to include dispatchers, like the dispatch routine scopes here, but that wouldn't be a problem for it. Like I'm trying to have some really challenging parts. So I will ask him to give me a package structuring of all these files. So I should follow what he's doing. Yeah. How can I structure all the files you gave me? Here's just his directory structure, exactly code that's written, code they have written. So, okay. So we have Java, your package name, thank you. Okay. View model, resting, repository, other data. Okay, so he's doing this packaging by layer. Okay. It's not that good, but okay. At least he is giving me something related. But what about he forgot about the weather API and the UI of the Jetpack Compose. Okay, networking. Yeah, exactly. He's going to do that. And the UI you wrote in Jetpack Compose. Like this is good stuff. He's like having a comment on that specific change. The network package contain classes related to network communication such as. Okay, and what about that? Here's an updated directory. Like, guys, it's not that bad. It's not that because I saw some developers asking that, hey, he can't replace us, and hey, I'm never trying this one. And yeah, it's well, of course. Okay, where is it first? Where is the UI? Okay, so here is it. Where is it? Okay. The UI package is the weather screen. I forgot the part. Package contain UI related code such as weather screen. The layout file such as this one can go here. Okay, thank you. Okay. As I told you, so I saw some developers claiming that I would never use it. I would never trust it to write my code. I didn't say you should trust it, right? I said at least try its capabilities, right? And see where you can use it. Because really artificial intelligence is a good thing, right? And it's a real thing. This is the model for today. Imagine 2 years from now, like having this refactoring included in your IDE. This will really boost your productivity. I'm not saying he will replace you, but at least try its capability. So maybe he can help you in some weaker parts of your engineering productivity pipeline stuff. Yeah, so definitely it's worth trying. It's worth trying to understand what he is doing. Basically, this is the test because I'm an Android developer. If you are a web developer or .NET backend engineer, you can try to trick him and see if he can do some stuff. I know if you trick him, he can go with you, right? I saw some some examples asking him like, how can I differentiate cow eggs from chicken eggs? And this is fault in the question, right? And he goes with it, and he answered like you can differentiate using that and that and that because he is a language model. He's trying to predict next words only. But if you use it correctly with the right question and the right context, maybe it can happen. Maybe it can happen. At least it can reduce some of the burden. Maybe I can ask him packaging by layer isn't good when scaling your app. What about changing the, like this is also a tough question, at least changing the structure to use packaging by feature. Do you understand that? He's blinking. Yeah, exactly. This type of question I want to ask to see here is updated directory based on package by feature. Whether, yeah, good. And exactly, usually you do that packaging by layer inside each feature. So he didn't change so much, but at least he understood the question. This structure, all the code related to the weather feature, is packaged together in single weather. It's make it easier to manage and maintain the code, exactly. And usually this is the thing. This is proposed in many articles, such as Martin Fowler article on like having this thing. If the code is a little bit smaller, well, you can do the packaging by layer, but it's bigger, having this weather root modules as feature modules, and then using this packaging by layer inside each feature is much better to localize your code. Okay. That's good thing. Additionally, this makes structures add new features. Exactly. That's saying finding them. Yeah, like when you give him something, he can have arguments about it. Maybe they can be false arguments, of course. We don't know as this egg, cow eggs. But yeah, if you ask him, I think if you ask him the right question, maybe he can help. And it would be a good starting point, like having this thing, having something to start from and refactor it. Okay, this will help you gain some time. As I said, he's not going to replace us engineers. It's a little bit tough to do that, but at least he can help you in something of in your work. You can decide it. Like imagine writing the whole activity, or imagine writing the compose part, Jetpack compose part. This is good. Maybe you cannot rely on him when doing business rule things, but having this tedious and boilerplate code can be done and automated by this ChatGPT or this models. I want now to give him some code and see if he can maybe understand it. Like let me do start overflow here. Okay, let's find some question. How can I connect web service to peer token? Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, I do have this thing. We have an example. Enqueue thing. How can I connect web service with a bearer token I got? Okay, I didn't understand the question. I'm trying to pull data by connecting to web service. How can I connect? Okay, let's put all the question here. Let me understand the question first. So encrypted, so I can access the bearer token. Also need bearer token. I did get the bearer token. How can I connect the web service? Okay, now we do. I forgot to include in the code because we do have the code. Here is the get token. How you can use it? Well, basically, I think you should have it in authorization, the bearer token, something like that. But where you are calling it, where you are calling the get user part, the get user, where you are calling the get user service in queue what? Get token. Oh, okay. So now, okay, what ChatGPT is asking to renew the. I didn't ask for the renewing. Yeah, exactly. Here is the thing. Here is how you can use it and request with authorization. Yeah, so the part here is missing. He didn't understand where to put it, but yeah, this is one thing. Let's search for another question. Is Google Map free to use for Flutter app? Well, I think this question are easy to solve. But the real question is the code. Like I'm trying to access the coding part. Okay, now I need some code, some real big code. How can I timer camera X preview to start the video record model? Well, this camera export is a little bit good. Okay. So can I have a method? This one. Okay, let's give him this code, right? Because sometimes I understand what this code is doing. Am I able to do that? So first, it's me understanding this code. So it's camera. This is generic code, like creating use cases for the preview, having camera selector, and having the use case for camera analysis, preview, and video capture, and then adding everything together. The code is setting up camera using camera. The camera provider is unbounded to ensure there is no camera. Good. The camera selector choose the back facing camera, yeah, exactly in this line. And the preview video capture class is created with specific parameters. Really? Yeah, exactly. I didn't saw the specific parameters. Well, there's no specific parameters here. Yeah, exactly. There's no specific parameters. This is generic one to do the preview. Okay. The image analysis use case is set up to keep the latest image to use the given analyzer. Finally, all these use cases are bounded exactly here, and it automatically starts to stop with the activity. Is this an activity? I don't think so. Yeah, it is. I thought it's fragment. Yeah, it's an activity. Okay, maybe he got this lucky. Okay, let's give him some code. Now I have some code. I borrowed it from GitHub on one application I'm working with one guy. And here is one thing I asked him to change. Like this was my review. Basically, we do have a score here, and we get this from the Firebase thing, and we do that listener thing, having this list here and update list. But there is another method. Instead of doing that, we can do something much better. We can do two objects and give him this class directly. So here I will ask him how you can improve the following code. I don't know if you can do that, right? But this is stuff like what is happening here is that we are creating a list here, and then we are using this list to fill the data when we get it. But there is an extension function to do it directly. Remove the await. Okay. Functional block the current thread. I think this is from the internet stuff. Remove the use of the await. The await function block the current thread until the result. Yes, I know that. That's why we marked it as suspend. Instead, use the suspendable coroutine function to create the suspend as deferred. Yeah, exactly. To object. Exactly. Here it is. Yeah, he did that thing. No, he really did that thing. Okay, that's awesome. Because this is the function I wanted. This is the function. There is this function that do this thing for you instead of doing this manually. So yeah, definitely, this is a good thing. And sorted by descending, the list of users. So the list of users sorted by descending. You did that directly. Well, this is good, guys. This is good. At least this is good for like understanding some code he never seen before, trying to modify it. The amazing part is this one, guys. Avoid using array list, instead use array list, or mutable list. Well, yeah, okay. And it's updated. Didn't know how we get it. This is really cool. This was my thing. Where I wrote a better code than that, I wrote this one, get await to object directly and sort by descent. I didn't have this let thing. Remove the as deferred and let blocks. You can do that? Well, I think this is pretty simple stuff for him, but at least you should understand. No, he returned that list again. Come on, it would be much better. No, exactly. Use that to objects at the end of the await. No, use please the to objects function. I didn't give him too much close, so he must remove that and use the to object. Okay. This is a problem, right? Yeah, so exactly, you can't trust him with everything here. Wow. Yeah, exactly, you can use the to object at the end. Yeah, exactly, he doesn't know that. But here in this part, he did it right. Come on. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. This is ChatGPT. It's not real Android developer. But yeah, remove the list of user scopes. Like try to do it directly, inlining everything. What? He's writing the code. Yeah, good. Wait. To object. Exactly, mi amigo. So he didn't format this code part. Yeah, exactly. This is how you do it. So you should be clearer on what you need. So you should ask him the right question and the right direction. This is the intelligent part. Like the intelligent part is having the right question, right? But the coding part is easy. Everyone can do that. But he's doing something good. Like this is exactly the code I shared with you. Maybe he did copy paste my input when it was here. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I should validate this hypothesis. I don't know how to validate. Well, this is the thing. We are trying several hypotheses here. We are trying to test them and see if we can go with it or not. But at the end, this is really a good thing. It can really help you in some way or another. can boost your productivity, search for things. Well, there's many stuff here. For example, if I wanted to search for the retrofit dependencies, give me retrofit dependencies, for example. I don't have to go to Google. I think he will do it. I don't have to go to Google, search for the latest retrofit. It's 2.9, exactly. It's 2.9. The converter JSON. Yeah, this is stuff. I want to use Moshi instead of JSON. So he must modify that. Create a file, implementation, square up, retrofit thing, normal thing, and Moshi instead of, yeah, so he's understanding it. So it would be good if you can do it directly. Directly imagine this in your IDE directly. This is really cool. Like, this is really cool. Yeah, thank you. I know how to do this stuff. But yeah, okay. Further base URL thing, HTTP client, add an HTTP client with network interceptor. Well, this is generic thing in Android. I think sure you can do that. Go to the internet, grab some dependencies, grab some things, and do it here. No, I didn't. Oh, no, it's not that. Okay, with logging. Yeah, exactly. I asked him to do just a normal in a network interceptor. He can use this thing here. Exactly. Sometimes you do this to add the bearer token directly with your H1. Exactly. Here is one. I want a logging interceptor. You need dependency, right? I think you need dependency for that. I don't quite remember. Moshi, okay. Square, okay, actually, exactly. You need this one. This one is needed. Yeah, exactly. So now he can write the code. This is a lot. I know this episode is going too much. So yeah, that was testing ChatGPT code generation part and how it goes, if it goes well or not. We saw that it is really good. He's understanding what he is doing or understanding the code he's writing. So we saw that by asking him to modify those things with several stuff like modifying the API service from call to Java to, I don't know, to normal suspending function. We asked him to grab some dependencies. We asked him to put some things into the parameter of view model, for example, like this refactoring stuff. He's really good at some point. He's not good at other points. We saw the struggle here in this function. He can review part. He can understand some code. Maybe we can even ask him to give us a code review of some code. This is what the struggle here. And I don't know how he get this one because it's not formatted. So there's some doubt here. Maybe he just copied and pasted my code. I don't know. He's not like, he's pre-trained model. He can't like learn new stuff. So definitely having this per AI programming part is a good thing. Maybe we should try it, but definitely I would ask him whenever I'm trying to have some default implementation or something, I can ask him to give me that implementation and then I can modify it. I didn't say, well, this is for the developers who say that Younes is promoting to use ChatGPT in your work. I'm promoting to have a productive life as a developer. This is my statement. And I can use whatever tools that help me deliver faster, good quality, maintainable code to the clients and everything. Yeah, so this is my mission. If it can help you do that, go ahead. If it can help you in other areas in your life, surely go ahead. But the experiments we did here were just to see if he's understanding his code, can modify, can do basic refactoring. We didn't ask him for some design stuff. Maybe this is for next episode. Like, if you like this episode, please tell me what I can do also for the next future test for this ChatGPT. Thank you very much for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you in the next videos. Salam alaikum.